We are excited to talk today about adventure, risk-taking, culture, disruption, and so much more. And by the way, before we get there, you've overcome some obstacles yourself, right? You said you started traveling with very little money. And tell me the process of what happened and how you started building businesses like this.
Yeah, one day I was just sitting there. Actually, I had a side gig. I had my full-time job, and then I was a surveyor originally, and I would
Okay.
borrow the company's equipment and work on the weekends for cash in hand jobs. And my dad had retired, and he was working for me as my assistant, which was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And one day we're just sitting there having lunch on a Sunday afternoon, watching the planes land and take off, and the ships sail off, to different places around the world. And I said to my dad, like, where's that plane going? And it's like, well, that's a Pan Am. That's probably flying to LA. And that's a BOAC, before British Airways. That's probably going to London. And
Uh-huh.
I'd be like, well, who's on the planes, Dad? Oh, well, business owners, business people, maybe people visiting their family overseas, holiday makers. Can anybody just get on a plane? Yeah, sure. You just go buy an airline ticket. Okay. And he said, yeah, and what else do you need? Well, you got to have a current passport, but your mum and I always keep your passports current. I
Oh,
was 22 years old. I'd been
yeah.
working my ass off for like 6 weeks, 6 days a week. I was in the construction industry, long hours, crazy hours, and I'd never actually taken a break. And so the next day, I went into the Sydney Flight Centre and I bought a one-way ticket to London. And that was the beginning of, well, 7 years of intensive backpacking around the world. And I went to 65 countries in those 7 years. And I just, it really opened up my eyes to what the world had to offer and how I would meet people and get to know things. And, it's not that I had a lot of money at all. It's just that I was a little creative in how to get around and not spend much money. And I ended up borrowing some money from my brother and buying a BMW.
Oh.
And then I would meet girls in like youth hostels and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they would pay for the gas, and I would provide the car. And we went
Amazing.
traveling to 25 countries around Europe in one year. And really, it cost me nothing because the girls were paying for the gas. I had the car, and we were just like, living off wine and bread and meat and cheese. And we just did that for a whole year, and it was incredible. And it did not cost a lot of money at all.
Oh my goodness. I love this story. This is adventurous. Wait, what age are we talking? Was this, by the way?
So I was 22 years old, and on part of that trip, we have actually traveled from, we went from France, Spain, Portugal, all across the Riviera, down into Greece and Italy, and off to Israel and North Africa, and back through Turkey and stuff, and then picked up my car again in Athens and drove all the way back up through Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, Hungary, Poland, East Germany, and this was behind the Iron Curtain. So it was really sketchy. I got shot at a couple of times by this Russian helicopter gunship. I've been shot at crossing checkpoint Charlie. It's like, I don't know. I've just been dodging bullets my whole life.
Got it. Wow. God bless. Amazing, amazing, amazing. All right. So also I know for today you wanted to dive into more of the adventure, the risk taking, the culture disruption. So continue. I just want to remind everyone though how we can contact you since we are almost halfway through. Remind us of the website, contact number, and any social media pages, please.
Yeah, so my personal Instagram account is Adventures with Chris Hardwick with an underscore between each word. My website, chrishardwickinc.com. And if you want to give me a call, 778 And my best email address is chris26hardwick@gmail.com. So always open to have a conversation. I love meeting people. I love hearing about other people's stories. And I love sharing strategies and tactics for how you too can become an adventurepreneur.